Here is a look at your gap and go trades for the week of February 10th through the 14th. I will go over price targets, have a gap recap from February 3rd through the 7th, and update the chart as well. Hi everyone, it's Dow on the Dow. First up is Estée Lauder. We ended the day at $65.03, up 1.2%. To the north side from where we are takes us to one level of resistance and a potential take profit area at 65.98. Above that, roughly 67.02. And should we be so lucky as to get to this level, 4 standard deviations, that would be 68.04. To the south side takes us to roughly 63.89. If we get to this level, I will anticipate a bounce off of that and potentially going sideways. But if we continue to bleed out, that will take us to 61.83, 60.82, and another potential buy-in area and a potential stop loss area, 59.76. Now, why are we tanking like crazy? Estée Lauder plans to cut up to 7,000 jobs under the new CEO effective January 1. This is old news, but this is why this has been bleeding out, and then I'll show you the earnings report. Due to declining sales and weak demand, especially in Asia, shares fell 16% on Tuesday. Looking back right here, there could have been some profit taking if you look at this. So we bounced to resistance. That's profit up here. Support is a buy in, and then we've been going basically sideways from right about here, the 5th, and now I'm recording this on the 10th. The earnings reported $4 billion. The estimate was $3.98 billion, and the earnings per share here. But $4 billion is a lot of money. So they are trying to cut back and fatten up the shares here. The 1-year price target, look at this, all this red. I think there's definitely a trade here, a swing trade. 1-year price target is 75.28. This is on my watch list for 2025. But when I looked at it a while ago, we were in, look at this, the 80s, and then boom. If you go to the monthly time frame, this is looking beautiful for a buy-in. See, these are the weeks I'm watching for the gap and go. But on the monthly, the lowest we've been is right here. And now we are at, oops, let me move this out of the way. It's hard to see with those lines, but right here we're still going down on the monthly. Could we touch it again and then roll down and then go back up again? Certainly. This company owns many, many other companies, including Clinique, Origins, MAC, Bobbi Brown, La Mer, which is a very expensive line, Jo Malone, a very expensive line, Aveda, and Too Faced. So they've got their hands in many companies. They are not going down without a fight. But this is when I looked at it at price on Friday the 20th. We were at 74, 72, now 65. So I might put in a buy order just to troll and see if I could get it around this level here or here. I don't want it. I don't need it, but I think there's a turnaround story coming up with this ticker. All right, the next one. Always look at the different time frames to give you different buy and sell signals. This one is NIO. We ended the day at 424. Oh, wait a minute, I have to go back. But that's up 0.95%. Let me do one thing. I forgot to move all of the gap boxes here and clean up the chart. I digressed. All right. So where did we touch with this gap? We touched right here. This is no longer in play to the south side. We continued to sell off there, but we went up to change course. So this gap opened up on January 25th. So that is no longer in play, no longer a threat. Let's delete that. That is done. We've got this gap that also finished, touched to, I know it's hard to see, but right here, we touched on February the 4th. That took us down to 74.06. See right there, that closed again on roughly the 4th again. And then this one opened up on roughly the 16th. So that is done. Ignore the yellow lines. Those are previous middle of the trend lines that are now support or resistance. All right, we've got this gap. And again, I just extend it. I have no idea when it's going to extend. I just know there's a short play after we've got a run up. And sure enough, it closed out. That took us down to $80.23. And this gap took us down to 82.47 roughly. And let me, clean that one up. That touched right there on Friday the 31st and no longer in play. That's a gap to the upside, something to look forward to. And this was, when I looked at price, gosh darn it. Let me click out of that. There. I did a video on this date when it was at 83.43 and gave you targets to the south side then. And here as well, and here as well. So that's all done. All right, we've got this gap to the north side to look forward to, not in the channel, not in the zone here, not in even close. We're still bleeding out, but look at this. As we go sideways, anytime you see moves, extended moves to the side, going sideways, you're going to see an explosion either to the upside or another explosion to the south side. But I think in this case, better days are ahead, even though we could go down to here, here, and here, and then reverse. But the 52-week low is $62. Can we go back down and then go down below that? Sure, and then reverse. Okay, that's enough of that. NIO, let's move along here. Option R. Gosh darn it. All right. 424 is where we ended for the week. One target is 429, 435, and should we be so lucky to get to here on Monday, Monday only is where I'm targeting, 441, don't hold your breath, to the south side, 417, 405, 499, and 393. All right, looking at the gaps that have formed that are still in play. This one taking us down to 395. This one already touched. I forgot to clean that up previously. So we touched right here on Monday the 3rd. That gap opened up on the 24th, Friday the 24th of January. So that is done. 414, and then we ran up all the way to there. And this one needs to be cleaned up as well. All these targets we gapped up, so then I will anticipate a short and a fill right there. And it touched down here at 423, done. Okay, what's going on? This one needs to be updated as well. That touched a small one on Monday the 25th. It opened up and closed. So we've got this gap still in play, taking us to 437, and then above that 451. Okay, and to the south side here, roughly 395, and then 370 here. To the south side, we could definitely get to this level this week. From the 10th, again, from here, Monday to Friday, in the realm. And then many targets to the upside. But right now, we are going down. Basically, we went up, and then we're starting to go down the other way. The 1-year price target is $5.89, which represents a 38% return from where we are, if you can stomach all of the pullbacks, giving up the gains to retrace again. All right, this is SOFI. Oh, we are bleeding out, aren't we? I've traded this several times, and I think I put in a buy order and I didn't get it. I bought 2 things this week. All right, and I could have bought it lower, but I wasn't watching it and it filled, but that's the name of the game. Let's move this over. All right, when you don't have time to micromanage your account, which I don't do. Well, I kind of do, but I kind of don't. 1525, 1544, don't hold your breath for Monday. 1562, that's for later. I'm going to mark out that line. 489, 452, 435, and 416. This yellow line is an old middle of the trend line. All right, and this is the new one. That was, let's see, including the week that we just finished, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. We were at that level, see? We went here. Wait a minute. Oh, no, this goes back even more here. Oh, my goodness. Okay, we've just retraced our levels. Look at that. I'm just going to delete this yellow line. Don't need it. Just clogs things up, but I like to draw it out so you can see if we go sideways, if we stop going down and we go sideways, this is the area where I will anticipate price to bounce off of to become support or resistance. All right, I did all that. Now for the gaps. This gap is still in play this upcoming week. Don't know when it's going to touch. That takes us down to roughly 1408. This one, did we touch yet? No. Still in play. Taking us down to 1450. Definitely for this week we could hit it. And what about this one that I drew and never cleaned up? That was a target. And that closed on the 28th of January. Formed on the 16th. So all we did is from this point we went all the way up and then closed all the way down. So this is no longer a threat. It was an anticipated move, which did fill, and this one as well, and that one closed on the 27th, taking us down to 1652. And oh, what is going on with this one that I haven't? What did I do here? Can I even delete this? Nope. There, I'm just going to delete that one. All right. So that is all cleaned up. Oh, nope. Oh, wait a minute. No, this one didn't touch. This one is still in play. Still in play. Not in the channel, not in the zone. Not even close, just something to be aware of. As we retrace our steps, these are steps we've been to, and then we bled out. Right? Oh, I sold some up here for an 18% return. I'm glad I did that one. Whew. Just buy it again and rework it. Okay, the 1-year price target. We're at $14.91. We could get down to $14.43 and to the upside 20 bucks. Fingers crossed we get that high. Unilever. I'm in this trade as well. So we're at 58.27. and that is now the middle of the trend basically, and just put it right there, 1532-ish. It's very close to this line, which I drew out weeks and weeks and weeks ago, and I'm just going to delete it. The week of the 16th. So we're back at a level we've been before. So I'll just delete that, get it out of the way. All right. Option R. All right, your targets. All day long, 58.67, 58.85, and should we be so lucky, 59.03 for Monday. 57.95, retracing to an area we've been, if we go south, 57.75 and 57.57. So we have this gap, this micro one that closed out. So we gapped up, and this one will take us to the south side. At roughly 57.30. And then we have this one also lining up there. Oh, wait. Oh, no, this closed. This one closed. Okay. I'm like a gap within another gap. Okay, so we gapped up and then fell back down, and we touched right here if you wanted to go short and were patient. There, we touched here at roughly 57.28. Delete, no longer a threat, so that's done. What? Oh, this was a tiny gap that we gapped down, and then I anticipated it to fill, and it did right there on the 3rd. This gap, what happened? Oh, we touched there at 58.24, no longer in play. Then went down because this is resistance, and then made another attempt and then got beaten up. We either go with this, price will try to hover around this area as its resting place, or it will go sideways. And what is this red? Oh, that's the gap. Okay, so this gap acted as resistance on the way up, and then support, like right here, resistance, and then going down to support. And anything else? Oh, we've got this one to the north side. Once we get back to this level, then I'm going to dump this thing. There we go. The 1-year price target is now 62.89, which represents a 7.92% from where we are. Oh, and look at all of these gaps to the south side, all these landmines to be aware of. The market giveth and the market taketh. All right, I'll clean that up later. Oh, what is this? Do I have one more? Yeah, I think so. Yippers. That is not done. Okay, a lot of landmines. Once we retrace, because you know we will eventually. All right. Next one is Intel. Intel is building a quantum computer, the headline says. I know that makes a stock run, but basically that's cha-ching, money being spent. That's R&D. It's not as if it's out and being sold. So there's sometimes euphoria, that's a plant, euphoria, and I'm a major plant girl. And then this run up, and it's a joke because that's just spending money, but people want to believe the hype and this and that, and it's kind of, I take it with a grain of salt. So there is the middle of the trend, and I marked that out a long time ago, so I'm going to just delete that one. We've come back to an area we've already been. All right, 1949, 1965, and then this zone where we've been, 1982-ish. 1884, 1868, and 1852. Looking left for the gaps. This one closed, this one opened and closed, so nothing big for this past week. This one closed. Note the clear buy signal at support, sell-off at resistance, the middle of the trend. We touched a couple times, and now we're going sideways. Resistance, sell-off. What is, oh, so we went up, filled on the way down. I did not clean that up, and we touched right there on the 28th. Delete, no longer a threat to our account. So we've got gaps to the upside to fill. And that one's done. I think I already filled or cleaned up a lot of Intel. So hopefully there's organic growth happening for this ticker, because there are, I don't think, any other gaps to the south side where we got to close. All right. I want to set a buy order here in the $18 range. I'd like to pick it up again in that range. Boeing is next. We ended the day at 181.49. 185.57, 189.41, 191.24, and 193.22. By the end of the week, if we continue to go up, 2 standard deviations would take us to 201.98, 194.26, and the outer band 190.31. Fingers crossed there. This gap to the upside. Now to the south side, 179.68 and 177.65. Buy in here at support. On the way down, that green line turns into support. That's done. We've got a couple of gaps to the south side, but we're moving farther away from that area. Oh, also apparently tracking this one. That will take us to 217-ish. The 1-year price target is now 197.25, which represents an 8% return from where we are. Scary to think that we were all the way down here after the plane wreck. And then the witness, what do you call that? The whistleblower miraculously gets discovered dead, like he killed himself, as if. All right, RIVN. The middle of the trend takes us to 12.58. I'm just going to delete this one. All right, and here are your targets, 12.79, 12.89, and don't hold your breath for Monday, 12.98. 12.38, 12.29, 12.18, and this one closed, and I did not clean that up, so that's, oh, or did it? Oh, yeah, it totally closed right there. Nice. Down to 11.98. So that is no longer a threat to our account. And that one opened up on Wednesday, December 4th. So congrats if you played the short game after going all the way up. That's, what about this one? Yep, that one is done. That took us down to 1235. Delete. And is there anything else to haunt us to the south side? Done. Nope, I don't think so. Yay. That's a good sign. And then to the north side, we've got this. And all the way up here. Okay, not in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. We are still in a downward pattern. Oh, the 1-year price target is 1476. Let's go over TSLY very quickly. This one is bleeding out as well. Okay, first, your targets. $12.22, $12.47, $12.59, $12.71, $11.98, $11.86, $11.74. And then we also have this gap taking us down to $11.19. Yowza. Whoops. Command Z. Anything else? Nope, I think that's it. Okay, we've got to rip off the Band-Aid. We've got to close it out at $11.19. I hope we can do it. I know that sounds bad if you bought above, and I did too, although I'm still up on some lots. But I need this Band-Aid to come off and close. All right, and to the upside, that will take us to roughly 1421. I guess I put, oops. Let me delete that red. Gosh darn it. Okay, I'm going to fix this later, or I'm going to do it right here. There we go. It's so finicky. Oh, we've got major gaps up to the north side there. I've tracked this for a very long time. All right, and there's going to be no price target because this is an ETF that pays a dividend, so I like that. And for the week, though, where are we for the week? Oh, it doesn't have. Oh, it's just the month, the 3-month, and year to date. All right, down, down, down. Nasty, nasty. All right, last one, Nike, yay. Option R to reset. Look, I just know where we are compared to where we have been when I see these lines. All right, still bleeding out. To the north side, 69.33, 70.84-ish, 71.63, 72.37, 67.80, 67.10, 66.29. By the end of the week, if we continue to bleed out, we could get all the way down to 56.64, potentially at -2 standard deviations. Obviously, things don't go in a linear pattern like this. It's going to get wonky and whip us around. That is the nature of the beast. So we have this opportunity that opened up, a gap to the upside at 71.64. This gap, this baby gap that I shouldn't bother to trace, but nonetheless, it still is a gap. We touched and closed out on Thursday, the 6th, so that's done. Delete. No longer a threat to our account. And what happened here? So we went up, oh, and we touched, so that's done. And this tiny one, playing the deviations, we'll just take it out, so there's no need to even do this. But if you want to be more precise and watch the pennies and figure that price action to the penny, that will help. And this one touched right there, taking us to 76.82-ish. The 1-year price target is 84.53, which represents a 23% return from where we are. And we are done for today. I will look at some other tickers, and hopefully if I have time, I will make some more videos. especially with SQQQ, this S triple Qs. All right, if there's a ticker that you want me to go over, please let me know, and have a great trading week.